That should do it. All right. Oh, had a little bit of time. I figured I would try to see if I can catch some snook or redfish or pompano or something like that. The tide's moving pretty decent. I don't do this as much as I used to. I figured that with this high tide, something's got to be coming through. I think there's a manatee. Yeah, there's a manatee coming through right in front of me. I'm gonna let him pass by real quick. There's a pretty decent sized manatee right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, the dark spot right there in the water. There's a manatee swimming through. It's pretty cool. Can't complain. Been here for a couple of minutes and already seeing some wildlife. This current is kind of ripping through a decent little bit, which is good. I'm seriously hoping it'd be awesome to catch a little pompano or, I mean, other stuff will eat this too. Even if I only catch a few jacks or something like that, that would still be pretty cool. And I was hoping to do a little bit of wading out here, but ooh, that was a hit. Come on. Come on. Come on. Nothing. I'm throwing a little pompano jig. It's just a little weight with a little teaser on it. And even though all it is a colored weight with a little feathery teaser on it, you'd be surprised what hits this. I've caught, my biggest fish I caught on this was about a 6-foot tarpon. I mean, it was probably like 80 pounds, something like that. You let it hit the bottom, and you bounce it off and make it look like a little crab or something. Anything that eats like crustaceans or reacting to movement will eat this. You get a lot of like ladyfish and jacks, but I've caught snook, I've caught redfish, trout. There's something. I think. No, it's a rock. It's a sea squirt, actually. Oh, so these guys live on the bottom. Let's see if I can show you why they call them sea squirts. It looks like a little hand on this rock, but these little squishy looking things are animals. Let's see. And bro, these big show. Oh, cool. I'm glad you were able to see them. I come down here for less than 5 minutes. I'm under a bridge, and there's no way out the other side. It's literally only a one-way under this bridge. Usually you don't find people under here, but there were some employees of one of the buildings that are right next door that literally like followed me down here and we're just yapping away, and I'm like, bro, I come out here for some peace and quiet, and the second I get down here, you follow me down, trap me in. That's rude, but it is what it is. And this current is ripping. This isn't even like a light jig. I think this is a 3/4 ounce. maybe a ½ ounce. Give it a little bit of slack, let it go towards the bottom because you want it bouncing off the bottom. I mean, sometimes they'll hit it when they're reeling it in depending on what it is, but I'm after likes those crabs right on the bottom. Hopefully I might have to get in the water here a little further down to get to some other spots. This water usually isn't this high. This tide is ripping in though, which is good. I want it to rip in. I just can't really get to a lot of the spots. They let all the mangroves grow in on this side that didn't have mangroves that much beforehand. Also, if this doesn't work after a couple minutes, I do have a little like swim bait that looks like a mullet that I just picked up that actually would probably be perfect for out here for snook. I know there's plenty of snook here. I've caught some big snook down here. But I like this lure because I can bomb this thing out there into that current where hopefully stuff's swimming by. Oh, that was a hit, I think. Come on. Come on. And literally, the hope is that I give it a second to sink, and then I bounce it off the bottom, and it kicks up dirt and stuff like that. Makes it's trying to flee, catches the attention of fish in the area. Usually you'll get, as I said before, like ladyfish and stuff like that, but I have pretty light leader, so I don't really want a ladyfish because they'll bite through this stuff pretty quick. They fray it. They have like really abrasive mouths, kind of like bass do, but it's like a heavier grit sandpaper than a bass's mouth. Oh, I think this is only like 12-pound leader. I'm trying to cut through this water, but I usually like to use like 25 or 20 or 30, not 15, but this is what I had on there and I didn't feel like changing it. So let's hope I don't regret that decision. And this current's moving pretty good, so I might regret it if I hook into something of any size. I did just get a cheap drone. And I don't know much about drones. I've never actually flown one. So I don't know if it's worth it or not. The battery life on it's supposed to be only like 15 minutes long, so maybe that's why it was so cheap. But it's got a camera and everything on it and a little controller, and you use your phone with an app. So hopefully that'll help. I'm hoping that a drone will help with the video quality so I can actually start going out and doing some like cool stuff, looking for animals, doing some hikes and blah, 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 blah. You know, cinematics and all that. Ooh, right at the base of the pilings out by the edge of the bridge. That's perfect. There's a little grouper and stuff out here too. I can feel, ooh, that was a hit. Come on, hit it again. Had a couple little thumps on it. Most of the time I end up catching stuff on the teaser anyway. The teaser is what really looks like a fish. I mean, if you're moving it quickly enough. I got a couple of bumps out there, way out there near the bridge pylon, so let me try that again. Ooh, that's not good. Say the teaser was above the knot. I don't want that. If it hits the braid, then I might be screwed. Ooh, right at the edge of that bridge again. That's where I want it to be. There we go. There's a fish, I think. Unless this is another rock, it's not fighting. It's just pulling weight. No, it's a little I snagged a fish. That's what I did. Snagged a pinfish. You'll get that a lot too. Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to snag you there. Little pinfish. I'm holding it weird. Well, at least something's interested in it. Let's see. Bait, nothing like out the freshwater seasoned fish. Yeah, exactly. Sushi time, not for pinfish. I know people eat them, but they don't really get that big. They get like as big as your average brem does. And there are just better things out there to eat than a pinfish. Something that's worth your time. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to get them. That's the thing, is it's easy to get them. They're just like little bait fish. But hopefully I can get something that is worthwhile. I've caught some flounder out here. As I said, mostly caught snook. Caught some big snook out here. But yeah, when it hits the bottom, that pinfish goes up and takes a look at it. And then, boom, I smack it off the bottom and just snags it right under the belly. This current is whipping through here. I have some memories at this spot. I've caught a lot of fish here, a lot of snook, a lot of redfish. Mostly snook and redfish, but I've caught barracuda here. I've caught flounder. I caught a permit here, actually. I was waiting on the flat. A little guy, but a permit nonetheless. And I'm getting it right in the pocket, right where I want it to be. There we go. There's a fish. Again, I don't think it's nothing big. It might be another pinfish. What is this? Is this another pinfish? Yeah, I actually hooked it in the mouth this time, though. Oh, no, it's a jack. Okay. It's a little guy. Well, as you can see, most of the time, when you hook fish on this type of setup, you get them with the teaser. A little jack crevalle, a little baby jack crevalle. Oh, shoot. And they fight hard when they get big. They can get up with the 75 pounds, I think, of hermit, like a hermit crab. No, a permit with the P. They're a big old game fish. They like to live offshore for the most part, but the little ones will come in. And then down in the Keys, they catch them on the bridges. Oh man, right in the corner pocket again. There's probably a big school of these jacks down there. To be quite honest, that's usually what happens, is that these jacks will pile up in schools about that big or the similar size. And this wind is whipping through here too. It's kind of hard to feel when my bait's on the bottom. But if I got that one guy, again, there's probably a lot more of them down there. Again, the wind's whipping so hard under this bridge here that it's kind of hard to feel my bait hit the bottom. Man, it was almost sitting on top of the water. What the heck? Have to get it out there, give it some slack, let it go down there for a second. Hopefully I don't get caught up on anything. said, this wind and the current makes it kind of difficult. And I'm using a 3/4 ounce. And usually I can cut through it pretty good, but the way it's whipping, it's very difficult to actually have a feel for where this bait is. Might change it up to a retrieving lure real quick. It would probably be better for me to change to a heavier leader too, but nah, I'm just gonna get pissed off when whatever it is cuts me off. That's what I would prefer. Put on a little bit of a show. You gotta have a rage quit. Isn't that what you guys come here for, is raging? Okay. I'll give this a couple more casts like this, and then I'll switch to a more of a soft plastic I can chuck out towards that dock over there. The thing is, I'm not in like a secret spot. A lot of people know about this spot. If you live here. If you don't live here, well, chances are you don't know this spot. And if you're visiting, well, chances are you'll never fish here. The spots that you pass on the way out to some of the world's most famous beaches are covered in fish. But you end up having to go and pay people to show you where the fish are. I like coming out here at night. I used to, at least. There's a bunch of dock lights out here. All right. Before I move down, let me try this new soft plastic I got. I'm trying the, I'll show you what it is real quick. The Savage Gear Mullet. I like realistic looking baits. I love artificial. I'd prefer to throw artificial over anything else. But I saw this and I'm like, ooh, that looks really good. And I asked the guy if they hold up, because a lot of these soft plastics don't hold up that well. And he said they do. So try to give it a little paddle tail. It's just a realistic paddle tail, that's all it is, but you just work it like a swim bait. Tie a little loop knot in there to give it a little bit of more of a free-flowing motion. It's very light bait, and this wind is whipping through here, so I'm going to let the wind work with me and slowly retrieve this thing back. That's tight. Ooh. Let's see. He's from Kenya. What is his ethnicity? It doesn't matter, except a little sense it makes. Get to know him deeper and build a better relationship. I am a mixture. I am an American, first off. I consider myself an American. All those other little ethnicity bits, I mean, I know what my bloodlines are, but I consider myself an American. But if you want to know the other ethnicity bits, I'm a mutt. I'm Irish, Scottish, Lithuanian, Puerto Rican, Russian Jew. Bet you never heard that one before. Puerto Rican Jew. My mom's side of the family is, like, I mean, bloodline-wise, I'm not a Jew as in, like, I don't practice Judaism. And I don't hold any connections besides the fact that my mother's Jewish, so it technically means that down through some bloodlines, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'm just white. All those other things, and this thing looks good in the water. All those other things are just bits that show up on like an ancestry, you know, because it also says I'm like 0.01% some sort of sub-Saharan African or something like that, but I think most people have a little bit of that in them. So who knows? But my parents are white as white gets, and I'm the darkest one out of my family. I just tan very well, and I hold the tan. So yeah, I've just always been able to stay relatively darker compared to the average white person. It's funny, I go to Tennessee where my wife is from. Everyone there thinks I'm Mexican. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, I see anybody who's not glow in the dark white as some sort of something, which I always thought was hilarious because I just consider myself white. So yeah, if that answers your question. But I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. It's a great thing about here in America. Doesn't matter what you are. We like to, for some reason, hold on to where our families originally came from, which I can understand, you know. It's nice to be proud of that. But if you're born here, it's just like being a Floridian. I'm a Floridian. I'm proud of that. I might only be second generation, but hey, I was born here. I didn't come here on my, afterwards. I'm proud of that. It's a term we use. It's called Florida cracker. And I'm very proud of that. Ooh, was that a hit or was that grass? That was grass. There's so much grass out here. Let's see. One cast over here. It's kind of hard because of all this grass up here, but maybe if I can... Man, this thing is getting caught up on all the grass, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I don't see anything along this mangrove line, and I could hop this fence and wade down there, but I don't think I'm going to. Wouldn't it be nice to have a big old explosion as I pull this stuff across the weed like I'm fishing for bass? All right. I'm gonna try. Ooh, there's a cow nose ray right here. A couple of cow nose rays, like the type you get at a petting zoo. Perfect shark bait. Ooh ha ha. Seriously, sharks love stingrays. Absolutely love them. Yeah, there's a lot of grass built up here. A lot of it. And it's not helping me with this lure. It's like right up against the shore too. All right, let's see. I'm gonna walk down a little bit. I'll bring you guys with me, of course. We're gonna see what else we can find. If I can get down, might just have to get a little wet here, you know. Pick up some of my trash. Never leave trash. Leave it cleaner than you found it. That is always what you need to do. And yes, I'm telling you what to do. You better listen to me. Because if I find out that you made things trashier, well, then we're gonna have a problem. I will find you. And I will make you clean it up. Isn't that from a movie or something? Or does he say something different? Oh, all right. Let's go. A little bit of a walk. Walking under the bridge, doodle-doodly-doo. Also want to walk this way so I don't accidentally get my car towed. Because technically, there are towing signs saying, "We will tow your ass." But I've never been towed here, and I've been fishing here for a long time. I'm gonna hopefully walk down there, but it's a little bit more shallower to get to it. I'll probably be fine. Okay, cool, my car's still there. You have fishing regulations? Yeah, there's plenty of them. Plenty of them, but it's not something that anyone really talks about. Unless you're like doing something illegal, like keeping fish you're not supposed to. Oh, cool, I can actually step down here now. No one cares. No one asks, I should say. Nope. Let me hop down here real quick. Oh, this should be good. All right. Put this up for a second while I get some things situated. It's pretty, huh? It's a pretty sight. I take it for granted for sure. Let's see, is this good enough of a spot? I'll take you out in the water with me a little bit. A little ballsy, but let me take my shoes off real quick like, so I can wade in that water. That should be good. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm gonna make sure that my mic doesn't fly into the water. All right. Ooh, the water is nice and warm. It's a little sketchy, but I'm gonna walk in the water here. I got this tripod, and I'm gonna make a few casts over here. Hopefully I don't ruin this brand new tripod. I mean, that's holding there pretty good. So hopefully I don't regret this, doing this like this. Oh. When this boat comes by, I'm just gonna stand near the tripod just in case. Man, this bait looks good in the water. There's usually some like snook or barracuda or something like that chilling right at the edge of these weed lines here. These grass lines. And with a little bait fish looking lure. Oh man, I am getting super paranoid about this tripod. I mean, it seems fine, but I don't want to take any chances because that's my phone. I don't want my phone to be in the water. There's some sharp oysters down here. Oysters are not fun. Is this holding? You know, all this so far is holding pretty good. There is some waves coming right here. So I'm gonna hold on to this while these waves come by real quick so I don't lose you guys. There we go. This boat came by. There we go. I think that did it. Nice. I said there's a bunch of rocks and stuff here. I've caught a lot of fish on top water out here. There's a grass flat that extends all the way out to that boat over there. And there's right behind me is a sand flat. And I have fish nipping at my toes. I mean, it is kind of The time of day isn't the best for this type of fishing. I mean, not that you can't catch fish during the day here in Florida. Obviously you can, but they don't like the sun beating down on them either, even though they're under the water. They don't, so if the sun's beating down on them, you know, overcast is a little different. I mean, it's a little overcast, but it's still pretty bright out. I should have grabbed sunglasses. We're gonna walk down here a little bit, try to get right next to that. Let's walk down a little bit. And then if we don't catch anything down here, then I'll put on that other lure I was doing and fish in the channel a little bit. How's the humidity? It's not bad. I mean, to me, it's not. It would probably be bad to people who aren't used to humidity, but I don't see it as that bad right now. I don't know what the exact percentage would be, but it has rained over the past couple days. It rained this morning, poured a little bit north of here. Let me put you guys right up here. There we go. A little bit better. Try this right here. A little bit in there. There we go. Try that right there. Put that one leg in the water. There we go. Cool. That should work. Let's try this. Caught a barracuda out here the last time I was here, right on this flat, right where I just casted. And this mangrove has grown out a little bit since the last time I was out here. Oh, there's a mullet that just jumped. I don't know if you guys could see that fish jumping out there, but that is exactly what this lure imitates, is a mullet. A little finger mullet. These guys get munched up by everything. Everything that eats fish will eat a finger mullet. This is a perfect, like right on the edge of that grass line. Man, with the tide like this, I'm surprised there's not a snook underneath that little bit of mangroves right there waiting to bust on a bait. You need it to bust on it. Yeah, I've caught plenty of smaller snook on this flat right here, but mostly like later in the day, not as much early, or early and later, like not as much during the day, but I have caught snook out here during the day. And everything seems good with that tripod. That's good. Let's say the way this thing is, it's like a slow, steady sink. But there's a lot of grass and it gets caught up on all the little bits and pieces of grass. Caught some big trout out here too. I'm not a big trout fan. A lot of people like sea trout, but I've never been a big trout person. I mean, they fight all right when they get really big, but some people, it's just like people who go and only fish for crappie or brim. It's like, yeah, I can understand the appeal, but I'd rather catch a bass. I'm not exactly in it to keep and eat them. I want to catch a snook. Something that's going to pull drag and make me work for it. That's fun to me. You know, a lot of those game fish like that, I'll go fishing for grouper and stuff like that out of season just to catch them. I like catching them. There's a lot of grouper in here too, like legal size grouper. I'm just getting caught up on all sorts of grass. Might have to, I'm just getting caught up on every little bit and piece of grass there is out here, which sucks because it lessens the time my lure's in the water where something might actually eat it. It looks really good though. This lure looks fantastic. Of course, I'm casting against the wind right here, which doesn't help. There's a pelican diving right on the edge of the bridge over there, so there's bait, which is good. You lift this, try to make it act like a little subsurface where it's just on the top of the water. Hopefully it gets away from some of the grass that way. Nothing. All right, a couple more casts with this and we'll change it back to that pompano jig, and I'll go wading a little bit. But as I said earlier, I did get a drone, a cheap little drone. It has a camera. It says 1080p on it, which, you know, it's not the best quality, but hey, if I can get some aerial shots, I can bump up my video quality and start doing like outdoorsy type videos a little bit more and actually have like some interesting stuff to look at besides, I found a snake. That's all I found. No, I can actually like do something with it. So I'm excited for that. I'm gonna mess with it when I get home. There's a lot of rules and stuff for flying drones, I know that. So I gotta learn up on it. At least if I fly it in my backyard. It's only got like a 10-minute battery life on it. All right, one last cast on this lure in this spot. Let me reel it on the surface, see what happens. Hold the rod tip high, watch it as if it's looking like it's right at the surface, which it is. Nothing. All right, well, let's go back there. I'm gonna switch back to that pompano jig, which I know I'll get bites on, but I'll have to wait out there a little bit. Tide is going down a little bit. Let's see, what time is it? It is 12:37. Cool. I got a bit more time. All right. Nothing like walking on rocks. Nothing like walking on sharp rocks. How clear is that water, you guys? Oh, there's needlefish. A couple of needlefish right there. You can see them right on the surface. They're swimming off. Yeah, that water's already come down a decent amount since I came out here. All right. Put you guys right here for a second. Let you guys look out at that beautiful water. The water is beautiful. All right. I put it right at the top, so hopefully all I have to do is grab the same ones that I had before. I won't have to go back into the pack, which of course I don't see the ones I was using before, so it looks like I'm going to have to grab the other two I haven't used yet. Cool, whatever. They're in there. I just don't feel like searching that long for them. Man, it is nice and toasty out here right now. That sun is beating down. All right. This guy on here. Yeah, this is a 3/4 ounce. So not only will it fly through the air when I cast it, but should sink pretty. Oh, that knot just popped. That was not good. I don't know if you guys could hear that line popping, but that line was kind of weak, which doesn't give me too good of a hope. I gotta make sure the drag is loose, so if I do hook into something, it's not just immediately popping it. Let's see. Okay. Hopefully that's just because that was a weak spot in the line, not because the line is shit, which it kind of is. This should be all right. All right. Let's walk out here a little bit. Everything good with my... All right, everything seems good here. Let's go walk out a little bit. There's a little sandbar right up here. There's a bunch of little fish in the water. I don't know if you can see the shadows as they go by. They're all little things. Yes, there are stingrays out here. There are sharks. All sorts of big baddies. But let's hope I don't step on a stingray. How about that? I don't have to go out much farther than this right now. Should be good. Let's try this. Sink this into the sand a little bit. That seems not bad. Right there. This current's moving a bit. Let's hope that nothing happens to that camera mount. Oh, perfect. Yeah, we should be good. No boats. Nothing crazy. This, at least, I can see if anything's swimming up on me, which there are sharks, but yeah, I've never run into sharks that have caused me problems. I've only been in the water on the flats with them swimming by, and they don't bother you. All right, let me get it towards the center near that bridge. There we go, right in the center there. The current's going this way. And the hope is that as you sweep it along, it just gets a little, creates like an arc. That's how people throw the, they throw it a little differently, but they throw the big bucktails for snook and stuff like that. It's the same principle. I see some shadows over there near the base of the bridge, and I think it might be a fish. Let me give it a good old chuck over in that direction and see if I get anything to chase. On top of the bridge. That's not good. Whew! I landed on the bridge. It's not where I wanted it. Hopefully that didn't fray my line. Hopefully that didn't fray anything up. Seems fine. All right, let's do this without landing on the bridge itself and hitting any cars. There we go. Perfect. Right by that shadow I was wanting to fish at. Is that a fish or is that a rock? I'm gonna go right next to it, so we'll find out in a second. Hopefully I don't lose this because it's a rock. No, it didn't move. I think it's a rock. All right. Let's try toward the middle, towards this part of the current over here. See if anything is off this flat. Decent way out there. Let it sink. I've seen tarpon on this bridge at night. I know there's fish here. It's just whether or not they want to eat right now is the thing. I got a hook through my finger here as well. I was fishing in a boat. I was commercial fishing for ladyfish. And I was a dummy and used trebles while commercial fishing. And it slipped out of my hand and went right into my finger. And it went all the way through. You could see it underneath my nail. And I just went, popped it out. Did not feel good, I'll tell you that much. That's happened a couple times. Oh, there we go. There's a fish. Oh! Came off. Okay. That was a fish. And I have oh, that's probably from the bridge, hitting the bridge. All right, it didn't feel that big, but right on the edge. There's a pelican. I don't know if you could see that diving into the water right there. Off, it was sitting on the bridge and dove off right into the water there. So there probably was another pinfish, but you never know. But I did have a hit. Be cool to catch a flounder or something for you guys. Oh, here's the pelican. He's flying right in front. That was not a good pelican. Last thing I want is that guy bothering me. Pelicans are a pain in the ass. And pelicans do tell you that there's bait nearby usually, so that's good. And there is bait underneath that bridge that keeps on hitting at him, so right underneath where he was. Got something small. I don't even know if it's a fish or a rock. It's a rock, and it came off. That's one thing. You get snagged up, and when you're using a little bit of weight, any sort of drag feels like it could be something good. You get excited for a second. You realize when it doesn't actually pull back that it's not anything good, but there we go. Oh! That was a fish. I don't know what it was. Could have just been a ladyfish. But it hit really quick and then had it for a second and it popped off. Let me throw it way back out there and see if I can hit whatever that was again. Sometimes you'll get a scale as memento of the fish that you caught or hooked into. Especially if you accidentally hook them in the side of the face. That was a pretty good cast. That sink for a second. There's grass right on the surface and I don't want to get caught in the middle of that. But with my luck, I will. Come on. Hit it again. Hit it again. Come on. You got it. Hit it again. Hit me, baby, one more time. Let's go. Do have a little pontoon. A couple other boats coming up here, so. Most of the time the boats don't listen to the no wake rule. Here. Yeah, I'm gonna hit that grass. All right. Try another bomb. Pretty far out there. Let that hit the bottom. There's some fish out here, whether or not they're decent, I don't know. Haven't been able to tell. They haven't felt too big when I do set hook. You can usually feel the weight of the fish. But sometimes fish will surprise you. It takes them a second to realize they're hooked. And usually if it's something big, you'll feel the thud. They tend to hit it as it's falling. You flick it like this, and then you'll feel thump right after as they go after it's sinking down, they'll smack it. And sometimes as you're doing this, they'll freak out and try to grab it real quick. Did I really just break off? I really just broke off my main lure. Well, that sucks. I'm gonna tie on another one. That's what I get, I guess. Put on another one. Must have hit a sharp rock or something. Just popped it off real quick. Does suck, but it happens. Bunch of little bait fish right here. Let's see, what time is it? It is 12:52. Okay. Got a little bit of time. All right. Let me point you guys the other way so you guys can see the beautiful water. So I put a new bait on. Yeah. All right. Is it right up top here, or am I gonna have to go searching for it? I have others, so. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I'm gonna put on a different color one this time. I'm gonna put on a pink one. Sometimes they just want a different color choice. This one's pink and white instead of all yellow. Well, it didn't pop as I tightened it, so hopefully that works. All right. Pink and white this time. Let's try this. Nothing like having someone come up in a boat, being like, why does this guy have a camera? Let these guys pass real quick before I start casting. Sometimes people don't like it when you fish. And I say, I don't really care. Ooh, there's a big redfish right there. Oh, that was a big redfish. There are fish out here, guys. I don't know if you guys actually saw that or not. He was like 5 feet in front of me. I didn't notice him until he was literally swimming past me because I was looking down and making sure not to step on rocks. I mean, it was not huge. It was probably like, I'd say 20 inches or so. He might have been legal, maybe a little bit bigger than that. But a lone redfish swimming by. Hey, there's fish out. There's fish here. That beautiful water. Let this guy pass real quick in his little boat. This is probably a captain right here. In his little sea hunt. See, he's speeding up as soon as he gets under the bridge there. I'll hold on to this just to make sure that when this wave does pass over, it doesn't knock over the camera, which is my phone. Let that pass. Just making sure that nothing gets knocked over. Try a few more casts with this and hopefully this works right here. All right, let's try this. Well, seeing that redfish gives me hope that there's stuff out here, but it's, you know, they might not just want to eat right now. Might be too hot for them. You never know. Ooh, that felt like a thump. I don't think it was the weight hitting the bottom. It felt like an actual thump, but nothing's on here, so. Mile out there. Beautiful. Hit the bottom. Usually you can tell when it hits the bottom when it just goes slack all of a sudden, like instead of being tight. But you want it to be kind of tight so you can feel. Oh, that was a hit. Come on. Little thing, probably another pinfish, but that was definitely a thump. Grabs a little teaser and pulls on it real quick. Usually if all you feel is a little thump, it means it's small, like a pinfish or something, because it's not swallowing the lure, it's just grabbing onto it real quick and pulling. Usually if it swallows it. If it's something that's decent, you don't have to worry about it just pecking at it with this. It'll just slurp it right up. There's no point in the fish slurping at it. He knows what he wants and he's just gonna eat it. Oh, I'm getting thumped at. Thump, thump, thump. That's a doo, doo, doo. That's all I feel. Of course, that means it's probably just penners. There is a bunch of bait right at the surface over there, right on the edge of the water. I think that's bait. Try to get it right in the eddy of that bridge real quick without actually hitting the bridge. Nah, not where I wanted. A little bit farther and it would have been good. That manatee swam over here earlier. I mean, if a manatee swims by, we'll be able to see it. I'll try to bring the camera up to it. Let's try again. Right in the corner. There we go. Oh, oh no! That was a good thump. That was a good fish. He popped off right on the edge of those rocks over there. That was a decent fish. retie, because not a good idea for me to put this little of a light leader out there, but we're gonna do it because that's what we got to work with right now. That was a decent fish. I mean, bigger than anything I've gotten so far. It might have been a little grouper, maybe even a little snapper, but it went right down into and like rubbed me off on the eddy over there. All right, let's try that again. Hopefully it doesn't break me off. Oh, nope, not where I wanted it to go. I have to be kind of perfect. I hit it right perfectly that cast. It's probably a snapper, if I'm honest. There we go, that's perfect, perfect. That hit the bottom. Try that again. I hooked into something decent. I mean, it would have been the best fish of the day, that's for sure. As I said, you could feel where the sandbank dips down, and it went right for that sandbank. The problem is usually if I was doing this and I wasn't lazy and changed my leader, I would put 30 on. That way I could actually put some muscle behind it. But I don't know where my scissors are. Ooh, right on the edge of that bridge there. Sink down, sink down. And you gotta quickly muscle them out. And this current's ripping so fast through there. Oh, if I use a heavier leader, it won't get down to where I need it to go. Could help if I was a little closer. But why would I do that? Why would I make it easy on myself? Boom, right in the eddy. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Nail it real quick, come on. Oh. This current is picking up, it's not slowing down. All right, try it one more time in that eddy. Ooh, right there. Nothing. All right, let me cast in front of the bridge this time. Gotta make sure it doesn't actually hit the front of the bridge. Oh, that was a thump. Little thump. Little pinfish or something. I want to try to get a cast or two in before this boat comes, because there's a boat coming. Right on the edge. they're going a little too fast through there, but whatever. What am I gonna do, yell at them? I'm not a Karen. Right on the edge of that bridge. Make sure that water doesn't knock the camera over. Of course, as soon as I do that, it gets near the bridge. Okay, not bad. All right, a few more casts here. Let's see what happens if I chuck it out there. Come on, give me something to show you guys. So one thing that sucks about doing this kind of stuff live is that if you're just watching a video, you know I caught fish. It's not that I didn't catch fish today. I didn't catch anything that I was going for. Just some random stuff. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. This is just fun. But it's not, whenever you go and do stuff, you guys should know. You have good days. Oh, that was a pull. That wasn't a thump, that was a pull. Nothing. I'm gonna do cast out into the nether. Cast out into the deeper, further out here. Give this a couple more shots. Man, I wish I kept on that fish that took me. I actually pulled a little bit, even though it was probably just a snapper. There we go. There's a decent fish. That's a decent fish. At least it's pulling and actually fighting. What is this? What is this? Oh, it's a jack. It's a little bit bigger than the last one. All right. Again, nothing spectacular. He actually ate the main lure that time. A little bit bigger than the last one. Actually pulled. It's nice when they actually pull a little bit. All right. Right into the side of the bridge. I'm getting a little sketchy territory here. Old people love to stare. There's a guy going over the bridge on a bike the entire time just staring directly at me. I mean, it doesn't necessarily bother me, but a lot of boomers love to stare. Ooh, right on the edge of the bridge piling. All right, one more cast before this guy comes up. Hey, one last cast. Can we hear it? Luck for one last cast. One last cast, luck. One last cast. Let's do this. One last cast, luck. One last cast. One last cast. One last cast. Let's get a fish here on one last cast. One last cast. Tell you what, since that boat came by on that one last cast, we're gonna do one more real one last cast. This is the real one last cast. Hold on to this real quick. This is the for real one last cast. All right. For real this time. The one last cast isn't actually ever the one last cast. You got to do one more. It's just so the fish feel easy. So they feel like they got one on you. This is the real one. All right. I know there's something out there that wants to bite this. Come on. All right. That was one last cast out there. Now I'll do the one last cast at the bridge. And then for real this time, after this, we're done. That was not adequate. That was not a good one. I don't want that one. I want a perfect one last cast. This is gonna be a good one. This is a good one. Oh, that was it. All right, that's really my last cast. Grass. All right, guys. I was serious that time. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't yet, go check out the Discord. It won't be in this link below, but it'll be in any of the previous videos. Links down below. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of scenery. I'll see you on the next one.